Hi. How are you? Have you seen this vintage tree yet? I'm going to show it to you tonight. I hope you're able to come hang out with me for just a little bit. And I've been like MIA. I almost said I've been DIY. I have not been DIYing, unfortunately. Y'all, I've been out of town for work all week. Losing my mind, trying to get home so that I could go live. I took projects with me and I completely and totally failed on doing those projects while I was gone. Hi Sandra, hi Brooke, how are you ladies? Welcome. Thanks for joining me, I appreciate you. All right, let's see. Hey Tammy, hi Stephanie, how are you? Let me grab a little one of these bad boys. Hi Rainy, how y'all doing? Okay, keyword is tree. So this is a small palette sign, it's 5x7. Hey Elizabeth, how are you, love? I'm going to, oh man, I knew something felt too good to be true about that one opening so easily. I don't want to have to. It's nice to see you, Rainy. I hope everything's going okay over there. I know your dad was sick. And your poor puppy, I'm thinking about you all the time. All right, so this is just regular Mod Podge, by the way. Let me see if I can show you the front of it. It's just the matte kind. That's the kind I prefer. You can use any kind of Mod Podge to do decoupage. Let me turn that on. You do need a little heat press of some kind, okay? You don't have to have the Cricut one. I did break down and buy myself another Cricut one because that one that I had was not working. But you can get a cheapo one. The one that I have is the little mini Cricut. It was like $49 on Amazon. Thank you. It's great to see you too. Hi, Barbara. All right, so I'm going to kind of thicken this up just a little bit to make sure that my paper sticks really nicely to it. But I want it to be a flat layer. Okay, I don't want it to be bumpy or anything like that. So I'm smooth it out really well. Make sure that I cover my entire surface. Okay. And I think I've got it now. Okay, so just painted that with Mod Podge. I'm gonna let that dry. And while that dries, I'm going to, oh gosh. Okay, so this is the paper we're gonna use tonight on that. It's like scrapbook paper, I guess. I got it in a big book of different scrapbook papers. So this is the cutout that you can get for the vintage tree. So you can comment the word tree and you will get the link to get all this stuff. And we're also going to use the new color of the month, Napa, tonight. So if you love that color, which I'm going to show it to you, it's right here. Look how pretty it is. If you use the link on this post, you will get that color. So I'm using this silver and this paint is kind of yucky, but kind of get a little bit more on here. This is like a silver, it's metallic silver, home decor chalk paint. I hardly ever use this one. I probably should have shook it up more, but I'm just wanting it for background anyways. Okay, so kind of patting that on there. I'm gonna come back in a minute, I think, and do, maybe not. I'm kind of liking this texture. I just didn't want to have a white background on my tree, you know? It's still kind of a light, and it's very light. Now, we can do a little bit more here in just a second once that dries. So let me do a switcheroo again. That paint smells kind of, it's that metallic, I think. I don't know. Hi, Rebecca. How are you, love? Hi, Mom. Okay, so you want your Mod Podge to be really, really good and dry, okay? Before you do anything, make sure that it is entirely dry. Because if not, it's going to give you wrinkles. If you use tissue paper or napkins, you'll have wrinkles. I don't know if paper will get wrinkles. I haven't tried that. But it's so much easier to do dry decoupage anyways. So just make sure it's good and dry, okay? Now I think this is perfect for Christmas. And it's going to help pull in the colors that we're going to use too. So it's a twofer. All right, now that's completely dry to the touch, okay? I can put my hand all over it and it's not, well, I say that. And then I find one little sticky spot. But you shouldn't have any sticky spots, okay, at all. All right, so now here's my paper that I'm going to use. I'm going to just set that right on top here. And I have this piece of parchment that I keep over here on the floor next to my desk because I'm a hot mess and a pig. Hi, Sue. How are you? No, I got this a couple years ago whenever I went to Mexico. I actually got it on my chalk trip that I earned. Me and Chris went to Mexico. All expenses paid with chalk. So seriously, if you're looking, y'all, for an opportunity, and I'm not saying it's not hard work, okay, but chalk is legit, okay? I'm just going to say that, and, you know, you do have to put in the work, but it is possible to do awesome things. I did go on not only one, but 2 trips so far, and I'm working on Jamaica right now. So, if you want to come join my team and get the opportunity to build something for yourself, definitely do that. Hi, Becky. How are you? Okay, so this is entirely stuck, okay, on here now, okay? This is a palette sign. It's 5x7. And I'm going to cut around it a little bit, but I'm not going to cut super close, okay? I'm just going to cut with my little whatchamadoodle here. Just like that. Really roughly, I'm going to cut it, okay? Because this paper's nice and thin, so I think I can use my sanding block. Hi, Marie. How are you? Okay, so I just cut it like that, okay? It's not neat. But I have a sanding block here, and you know what? I have a different one. This one's a little bit more coarse. As you can see, there's like glitter chalk paste on it too. So I'm just going to take that along the edge. Now you don't have to have a sanding block. You can use sandpaper. You can use a nail file, okay, to break this. Now, all I'm doing is I'm just moving it in downward motion like that and pulling that sanding block across there, and it's just cutting that paper. So as you can see, it's starting to tear it, okay? And it tears it right along the edge. Now, if you have a funky shape, this is not the way, okay? But there are ways. So you can actually take a lighter, and I know it sounds scary, okay? But it's actually pretty cool. You can light it, and I don't know about how well it works with paper. I haven't tried it with paper, but with napkin it works really good. You can just light the napkin and it will go all along the edge and burn it right off. It won't start a fire or anything. Just be careful. And don't have anything flammable. Make sure your hair is tied up, you know. But take that right around the edge. Now I am using, this is an 80 grit sandpaper, okay? I was going to use my lighter sandpaper, but I needed something with a little lower grit to really catch it because it's paper. But if this was a napkin, I would be using the 220, okay? You can tag them here, or at the bottom you can hit the share button. And you can either share it to your page or you can share it to Messenger, okay? All right, so again, you can comment the word tree to get the link to buy this stuff, but I really appreciate all hanging out with me. I'm so sorry that I've been MIA this week. Seriously, it's been a crazy week. I went to New Orleans on Monday with every intention of doing lives while I was there. Okay, I got in at like 3:45 and I texted my boss and he's like, where are you? What are you doing for dinner? And I told him, nothing. I don't have plans. So y'all, we went to this really, really fancy, Italian place in New Orleans called Fausto's. If you've ever been to New Orleans and you've been to that place, it's so good. Okay, definitely give that place a try. It is super fancy. Okay. And I was wearing a t-shirt and it was fine. I've just dusted all that paper dust right onto my boob. So just don't pay attention to me. Hi, Lisa. How are you, love? Okay, so there's my palette sign. Look how great that looks. And the edges are nice and clean. I mean, they are good. You can even take your, now you can go back with your higher grit sandpaper and just kind of clean up that edge if it's a little too rough for you still. Now, back to my tree. I'm just going to come back now that this is dry, or at least semi-dry, and I'm not just spreading paint around on my chalkable chip. Now, this is a chalkable chip, and it is reusable if you use chalk paste on it, okay? But again, I'm painting it with, this is acrylic paint, so it's not going to be reusable. I mean, I could probably clean it off. You could sand it even. If you mess it up, or you end up hating it, which I do with quite a few of my projects, I end up hating them. You could totally sand it off and try again, okay? So I just patted it on with my little makeup sponge, okay? Now I'm gonna dry this really well. This is the transfer that goes with this cutout. Isn't that cute? And this is Napa paste. So in order to get, that's the color of the month. It's only available while supplies last. Hopefully y'all know the drill by now, okay? But you do, in order to get that paste, you have to spend $75 on my website. And once you hit that $75 threshold, whenever you go to the cart, you will see a little box at the bottom that pops up and says, hey, you qualified for the color of the month, add it to your cart now. Now, whenever you click on the link that I give you in the message, whenever you comment tree, it's already in the cart. Okay, I threw it in there for you because we're using it tonight. And, I mean, that's going to be half the fun of this project, I think. We're not even there yet. Okay. So, of course, I've got paint all over the edges of this thing. I am a mess. All the time. It doesn't get better. Anyway, so I went out to dinner that first night, unsuspectingly. I wasn't expecting to at all. I had every intention of going to my room, doing my live right away. Go out to a late dinner. That Italian place was amazing. I ate way too much. Went home, went to bed early. I did end up going to bed early because y'all, I was so tired and I knew I was going to have to wake up early. So I had training scheduled for myself and my team for early the next morning to start, right? And I wanted to make sure that I got to everywhere out to the office and everything on time, make sure that I got everything set up and that I was there early, just in case if we had any snafus, you know. And so then that next night we had a team dinner that we had scheduled on, that was on Tuesday night. Then we had a team dinner. Y'all, I was out so late. And then, let me see, that was Tuesday. And then Wednesday, again, we had 3 huge dinners in a row. And I was beat. Like, I felt like I had been beat with a stick. And especially after long days of training and traveling and all that kind of stuff, look how pretty that turned out. Okay? That's just with the paint. That's with nothing else on it. So now, this is the transfer that we're going to use. I do want to use some surface wax, okay? Now, I didn't add that to the cart. So, if you don't have any wax, you might want to add this to the cart, too. I forgot about this one. Hi, Chels. How are you, love? Welcome. I haven't seen you in too long, my friend. Nice to see you. Okay. So, just a little bit of surface wax goes a really, really long way, okay? So don't use too much, literally just a little, and you can actually kind of feel it on the surface. It feels real smooth, but you don't want it to be feeling waxy, okay? Because if it feels waxy, it's too much. And you're probably gonna have to sand that off and try again if you're, so let me just tell you the symptoms of too much wax is basically either your transfer doesn't want to stick at all, okay? Or whenever you pull up your transfer, the paste comes with it and it just doesn't stick at all. Okay, so you will know. It looks like basically like as if the paste stuck into the transfer. Okay, so if you have that issue, yay! I'm so excited. I love that for you, Barbara. Wonderful news. I got this paste before I left to go on my trip, and this is one of the projects I was planning on doing. But y'all, I had ordered some more cherry paste too. I love that color. If you haven't gotten that color yet, it is a great holiday color. Okay. I had gotten cherry too in the same box, and I was packing, of course, last minute, running around here like a lunatic. And I'm talking too much, so I'm trying to line this up while I'm talking. Trying to pack that morning of me leaving, and I grabbed the wrong paste. So I didn't even take Napa with me. I was planning on using it on this project. So I am kind of glad that I didn't do my live, because I wouldn't have had my Napa to use, and I would have been really upset about it, because there's like no way for me to have gotten it at that point. Okay, so this right here is Olive. Okay, it's a shimmer, and we're going to use this for the entire tree. Now you could try and do different colors if you want to. There's some presents down at the bottom of the tree. There's a star up at the top. You could absolutely do different colors, okay? But we're going to do all green. And then we're going to use the Napa for our ornaments, okay? And hopefully I've got an idea on a tool to use. So I'm hoping that I can make this turn out as cool as I see it in my brain. Hoping. All right, so I put down my paste, and then I also use my squeegee to kind of scrape up any excess so that I don't leave any behind, because I don't want to leave it on the transfer. It's just a waste whenever you do that. Oh my gosh, y'all, this transfer is beautiful. Oh my goodness, look how pretty that is. It is so super detailed. I mean, wow. It's pretty amazing how much detail is on this tiny little transfer. So this is an A size. These are $11 plus tax and shipping. And they're 5x7. Okay, they fit on any 5x7 surface. Okay, and sometimes smaller ones. This one would fit on a smaller surface than that even. But they're meant for the 5x7 A size surfaces, okay? Now, I'm going to dry this really well, and shimmer paste does take just a little bit longer to dry than regular paste does, but with those real thin transfers, it's barely any paste that is on here anyway, so it dries pretty quickly, okay? And if you use a dryer, that will help make sure that it's really, really good and dry. All right, so now this is the little... it's like an eraser tool, actually, from the artist tool set, which is in the link whenever you click on the link. And again, that's Napa. Look how pretty that is. Okay, so we're going to try this. And like I said, this is a test run. Okay, I don't know how well this is. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. Okay. Now, I'm just dotting on... some paste, okay? And I'm kind of going back over in the middle to really get a good dot, okay, for my ornaments. And this color is perfect for this. I'm loving this color, y'all. I hadn't opened it. And like I said, I took the cherry paste with me on accident. I don't know what I was thinking. I saw red and I'm like, okay, that's it. And that was not it. I'm so glad that I didn't end up doing this project there, because I would have been missing out on being able to see this. I would have been so disappointed too. So there are some ornaments that are on this transfer, and you can kind of see where they are, or you can create your own. just by dotting and then kind of doing little circles, okay? Or just dots. You could use like an eraser end of a pencil would be perfect. But this little tool is working good for this. Just like that. And I think I'm good now. Okay, so check this out. Here's my little tree with ornaments on it, okay? Just kind of randomized them. Now, again, you could come back and add some detail around those presents if you want to. Some watercolor would be really pretty on the presents. But I think I'm going to leave them just the way they are. I do have my hot glue gun ready to go. And I'm glad I painted the background of this because it's just, it is white, okay, normally, but just gives it a little bit of something, you know. It's holiday, you know. You gotta have a little sparkle and shine on the holidays. So now I'm just going to glue this with hot glue, nothing fancy here, okay. And plenty of glue on there to make sure it holds really well, but it should be fine. And then right in the middle, drop it on just like so, okay? And then, you know, I've got this, so I got some more Distress Oxide, okay? This one is pumice stone, I think. Let's see if you can even see it. You can just go around the edges with that, kind of a silvery type color. I love this stuff so much that I decided the other day to go ahead and, they have all kinds of colors. Did y'all know that? Of the Distress Oxide. I mean, pretty much every color that you could want, they have available. So, and then I'm going to try and smooth that just a little bit out before it dries. I'll blend that a little bit. Give it kind of a, I don't know, snowy type feel on the background and edges. Hi, Joanne. How are you? Hey, Melissa. Thank you so much for joining me. So there's my finished project, y'all. And that is super simple and just easy, cute little gift idea. Or, I mean, really, you could use this for anything. So I stuck my thing already in the jar. I mean, in the water, but look, even this little guy works. I'm noticing I have a couple of little areas that are feeling a little bare. So, add a few more there. Isn't that super cute though? And fun and easy. I mean, just imagine, even kids could do this. Super fun, quick Christmas project. So comment the word tree, get the supplies to make this, and go grab you some Christmas scrapbook paper. I got a book with like all the different holidays in it of scrapbook paper, so I can just go through and pick any single holiday that I want. Anyways, love you all so much. Yay! That's great, Joanne. I'm so excited to hear that. Well, I love you all, and I mean it. I will see you tomorrow night. I do appreciate you coming to hang out with me, so I hope you have a wonderful night. We'll talk soon, okay? Good night.